Hi everyone, delonewolf here, and welcome back to EVE Online. Welcome back also to SiSi, the test server for EVE Online, where CCP is organizing another mass test. At first I thought it was for the new jump, or the third time that they would try the jump animation with the ships within the warp tunnels, but I actually did a jump and didn't see it. And if you look at the steps, there's actually some docking and undocking involved, there's a tactical overlay involved, some audio testing. So I would say that this is generally more aimed at the performance of the client, and we'll just keep an eye on as much as possible as we do the test. You can see that everyone here is gathering up on the first gate. We get a couple of Titans here, and we're at 133 in local. Not a lot of people for this mass test, but there is a pretty good excuse. Look at this here. It's clear that most are currently active on TQ in a fleet fight, but if you have friends who could join, please invite them. So I was just taking a look at the live stream from the Imperial news, and it's at like 4,400 in local on one system in TQ, so there's a pretty big fight brewing over there, which means that there should be a bit lower participation during this mass test. On the other hand, 135, it's already a decent number. I hope that CCP will get all of the information that they can out of it. I was drafted into Fleet X. I actually tried to leave, but ISD non-locality was just too fast on the trigger and invited me back right away. So we're in Fleet X. Gotta remember that. I'm usually in Fleet W, and so we have we're the second ones, so we have to jump in normally if we follow the test at phases as planned, and so I don't have to warp in right away. Tactical overlay, that's this stuff that is on, and yeah, it's been a pretty long time since we've done a mass test, and this will probably be the first one, I think, on my RTX 2080. Had to redo the whole UI a little bit as well. Thankfully, for the overview, ZS overview is available here as well, so I quickly grabbed one of those and we should be fine on that. And we get the order to jump to XBV. I'm gonna stay far away. The audio within that fleet ball here was massively overwhelming. You can probably hear it now. I also lowered the volumes a little bit, but it's been working. And there's the first jump. We are through, not a big problem. A bit lower in the FPS, but we are recovering pretty quickly. And then we get a Wyvern and a Varger here already. I'm actually flying the Gila. This is the Abyss Gila, which I still had ready from my previous bit of testing with the new Abyssal sites that were available. And man, really busy at work, so I basically just got done eating, taking a shower, and we are back here doing some testing for CCP now. So let's get going. Apparently I take a fleet warp to the Intaki Bank deposit station and dock immediately, so I have to try to find it. I think it's Intaki Bank. Yep, should be that one that I have. Let's see if we keep going towards it, and then I can't change my order while in warp, but that worked fine. And oh, that's not gonna work, of course, for those Titans. There's no way for them to dock there. And look at this skin, by the way. Ah man, that does look pretty good. My ship's burning, but it's an aggressive burning, a gold-plated skin almost because of that light effect. Looks very cool. And other station, I messed up. Oops. We injected the wrong link. This is the correct station, so we have to... Yeah, that's still, I think, is just an NPC station. Yeah, so Titans will have a hard time docking. But let's keep going. We get another Gila in the fleet that joins in, and here's a Loki as well. So we are decently well represented in the cruiser-sized fleet here, a Damavik behind us. Lovely little fleet warp with a couple of guys. We're at 73 in our fleet. Fleet W was struggling a little bit with the numbers as well, but I tried to ask them, does Fleet W need more propaganda? Yeah, it looks like they needed the numbers, so let's hope that we evened it out at least a little bit. And then we will get here. And we have to... Man, that was actually a very long warp, I must say. And I have to dock right away, so let's do that. As soon as I drop out of warp, there we go. And there's the rest. Beautiful sight, of course. Fleet warps are always pretty damn amazing. And there we go. Now dock and undock several times, except if you're in a super, obviously. So here we are docked. That is still that pretty regular transition with the latest updates of the insides of these stations. We've got the viewing screens, and then back here we actually have a little bit of traffic, which makes it all feel very much alive. I really like these station indoors, but honestly, whenever I'm in a structure, I always do go for the outside view. So perhaps at some point they'll be able to do that for NPC stations as well. Let's redock. Let's do that a couple of times and see if it works. Feel free to change the camera mode between the dock attempts. Okay. So there's a dock, and then there's an undock right away, and then I'll switch to tactical camera view. Let's do that. So switching to tactical, I can move around. That feels pretty responsive. Can select the station. I'm gonna redock, and I will undock again. There's the Titans bouncing off of the station, and so we are back. That seemed to work. And we are back out, and I'm actually right back on the same view. That's nice. I'm not sure. I mean, it's not like I often dock and undock on tactical view, but I wonder if there's like camera movements that can sometimes be a little bit annoying. Let's do one more, as long as we don't get new orders from CCP Habakkuk. We are going to continue docking. Now we're back on the regular orbit camera. So I can dock and undock. Oh, that is one thing that I did notice, is that sometimes the orbit camera is basically stuck on an undock on TQ at the moment, where I actually have to select my own ship in order to be able to look around it. So let's take a look at that. So I can, all right, that works right away. And so one of the problems was you would be looking exactly like this at your ship, and then you could move around and it actually wouldn't move. What would help is, of course, you clicked on your own ship, and then all of a sudden you could move around. We still have, if you notice any bugs, then please send them. So not so far. Let's quickly do the last one, first person camera, which of course I think next to no one uses, but it's pretty cool. Perhaps for some footage at some point that could be really cool as well. So we can dock. I basically need to find the right weapon system that would be firing straight ahead of me, and then we'll undock in this mode as well, which still works. And then of course we wait on the timers. We're back out, and yeah, this is of course a pretty big ball of ships right on the undock. And then let's switch it back out. Here is the orbit camera, good and responsive right away. Quickly switch to tactical, and then you can move like this, and you can normally I should be able to select them, and then would I have to press C? Yeah, oh, of course, the other overview settings. Normally I immediately look at my target. That's not enabled on this one, so then I have to press C in order to do that. 2 more minutes, then please stay undocked and align to Poitot. Alright, so we'll be going back here. I'll do one more. Dock.
Docking request accepted.
Okay, so you immediately do get a response from the station. You will be docking. You're in here. Then we have our session change timer. Once it's over and I undock, I should get there pretty quickly. Warp to Poitot, gate and hold. Oh, I'm still undocking. That was a little bit slower, but we're there. And so now Poitot and hold. Let's see if I can find it. Find it. There we go. Let's do a warp. We should be faster than all of these big ships. So we get some carriers into groups here as well. Some dreadnoughts. And a couple of guys in local, or one actually already said that they should primary me when it comes to the PvP fight, so we may not be long for the PvP fight itself, but I'm in Fleet X, which is a little bit stronger normally than Fleet W in numbers. Fleet W is the best fleet, I fully admit that, but in numbers Fleet X often has the advantage, so I'm hoping that I can actually survive a little bit with this this Gila that should have a decent tank and should be able to, you know, try to get out of trouble. So here's Poitot, and we are here. So far, performance feels quite nice. Must also be said, of course, again, 135 is not a big audience for this mass test. That's decently easy to handle for the client and for the server, although the PvP fight itself could still be interesting. For now, basically full confidence in my camera movements. I feel like, yeah, it's keeping up, it's doing everything exactly as planned. I'm also playing on 4K at the moment, not sure about my exact graphic settings, but I'm keeping the brackets in space and all of that as well. And yeah, 60 FPS, pretty stable, pretty nice. I definitely like it. And then of course now you get some really nice views, like here, the ship passing right in front of the camera. We get the orders to jump to the gate, and let's do that then. So there we go, aligning with the gate on the camera, felt smooth. We're pushing through, we're not seeing the ship. In the transition, I'm in Poitod itself. We come through and yeah, session change timer. All feels pretty regular and pretty normal so far. So there's Cloud Ring in the background. There's the Galente Nebula. And there's a white star, yeah. All good. Let's zoom out a little bit. Oh, there's actually a planet right on the gate here. And then we get, what is it here? Cormorant, Vargar Rock, Osprey, Sleipnir. We'll see. I'm definitely, well, actually, medium-sized, same size to smaller targets, I think, with the rapid lights will be good targets for us. Oh, and then we have to go to F6, jump on contact. Right, I'll take jump. Let's go. But yeah, this honestly, this feels pretty regular, pretty good and stable. So I'm pretty happy with that. There's the other Gila of the fleet that's joining me in warp again. 60, pretty stable. And there we go. And now it actually starts to rain in the as well. Yeah, hope the sound doesn't come through too much. Let's keep going here. And then we have a jump on contact. Yes, we are combining two steps here. And still some latecomers trying to join the fleets. 16 local. Again, very smooth. I really don't notice anything here. This feels pretty stable. It's been different during mass tests, so I'm actually pretty happy with what I'm seeing here so far. And also audio-wise, I mean, I'm toning everything down a little bit because in the big ball it was just quite overwhelming. But it feels like everything is right where it should be, which is of course pretty damn nice. Oh, it's actually nice D in the Marshal. As soon as you are in F6, warp to the MHC gates. Alright. And I have to click the right thing as they keep popping up here. MHC, let's go. And hold on the gate. Actually quite a few smaller ships, some Leshaks as well. Those will potentially be trouble, of course, but not an overwhelming amount of capitals and super capitals. I really do feel like this shows what's happening on TQ at the moment with the war in 0-0. Anyone that can fly the big toys there is required basically on all sides of the war. It's pretty impressive to see because usually you get this overwhelming number of dreadnoughts, carriers, supers that show up here. But so far, this mass test, we've got some battleships, we've got some frigates, cruisers, battle cruisers, a little bit of everything. It feels like a pretty good mix from my personal perspective here. And there comes the rest. As I hear a lot of noise in the background. I really hope it doesn't come true, but it's starting to rain pretty heavily outside all of a sudden. And there come the bigger ships. There's a Dread. And there's a Rourke no, an Orca actually. Someone is bringing in his Battle Orca. Love how the Leshaks are looking here. With those cores and with a very nice skin. That's probably the... yeah, oh man, that looks so good. That looks really nice. We're actually going to do a look at on this one. So that's the skin for the Triglavians themselves. I mean, you can just get that from the New Eden store, I think. But look at that animation. Very, very cool. Feels like these ships are bulging with power. Ready to deploy that. Fleet W, jump there and set up the gate camp. The rest of us have to hold. And the Leshaks are in my fleet. Yeah, I do think that Fleet X will have slight advantage in numbers. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm mostly interested in the performance of this mass test. And so far, from my perspective, it looks absolutely fine. So let's select the gates. I'm on orbit view. That's good. Fleet W should be getting in there. So there's still probably a dozen or so. Well, it's diminishing. 95 here in local. From 135 in mass testing. Alright, they're gonna struggle. Fleet W is probably gonna struggle on this one. Let's just wait a little bit longer. See if there's anything happening here. Getting crackling in audio during session change. Yeah, I haven't noticed any of that, luckily. And everything else is fine, it seems. And there's... Alright. They do have effects, which, as far as I can tell, we do not. And I'm not sure where the Titans are. So, let's see. Let's see what happens. And there's the Rorqual. I knew someone was flying one. Fleet X and others jump and fight. So, we are ready to fight. Now I'm going to... So, there's... Our big ships are going... I don't want to be just blasted off the field right away, so we're giving us just a little bit of time before we jump in, but let's go here. Let's see what happens, and if we can maybe spot a good target for us. There's an enemy Loki, and here, ooh, a Garmer at 14. Let's go. Let's tempt fate. Let's activate this tank, activate this one, and let's also drop some Hammerheads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hammerheads go in as well. Oh, we're actually also fighting in a metaliminal storm. He's at 16. Haha, big volley of missiles. Come on. And then an arbitrator is already coming after me as well. Let's try to get a large orbit going. Target him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All of my missiles, and I'm not in range for that. But here we go. So that's the arbitrator of troubled waters. He's in armor. His armor's almost gone. And we actually get a penetrating shot. He's trying to rep, but nope, to no avail. That is gone. Let's go up in size. Here is a hurricane. Let's try and do like an orbit at 10. Maybe I can still do a little bit of nossing there as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going after... I need to press C. Still can't see it. Alright, we're gonna do a look at... Oh, he's... Where the hell is he? Missiles coming in. There he is. In deep armor already. Massive explosion back here. That's pretty cool. And honestly, 60 FPS. We're holding this really, really well. That's actually pretty damn impressive. It is only 130. Let's keep that in mind. But that is definitely pretty cool. Let's see if we can maybe surprise that malediction. What's the range on my missiles? Gotta keep one eye on that. 32. It's gonna be close, but we can try. 1, 2, 3, 4. Full missile spam on the targets. And there he is. 27. Yeah, getting hit. Full hit. He's trying to pull away. Can my drone still catch up to him? One hit. He's flying straight. So maybe my drones can still catch up to him. I'm running out of charges, but that is fine. And then we actually have a Skybreaker. I have to look at that. I want to watch him fire, actually, and see what that weapon system looks like. So I'm actually going to give him a little bit of time. Come on, fire your weapon. I'm not going to do... Well, I still... Oh, there it is. Oh, he's doing a one-on-one. Damn, that's too. There's the jump on my Gila. That is cool, massively cool. I think, yeah, look, oh man, this is so exotic. This is completely new, and he actually gets blasted out of the sky by my drones, and it's actually the other Gila from the fleet that was taking that damage. Okay, we're actually doing really well. I'm gonna target these fur boxes just because I can, and then is there anything small that's left? Let's see if we can hit that. My drones are still doing absolutely fine. Now you can also try switching into other camera modes, as you can also try the new UI mode, Control Shift F9. Okay, I'm a little bit scared to do that, because I really don't know what to expect. Let's go after that damnation. I'm actually gonna do an approach order on the damnation. Shields are holding quite well. There we go, missiles firing, and I'd go in first look. There we go. Have never really done that. But there's a damnation approaching at 24. My missiles are blasting. Now, it's a big armor ship, so we probably won't break it, but kind of curious to see how this will look here. Going after that damnation, my drones are there as well. You can clearly see his much stronger resistances on the armor here. And then I'm now piloting through. We get the Rorcal down here, we get a fax on the other side. We've got a shack here that's being massively blasted as we are bouncing off of a big ship and then still going straight towards that damnation. Very cool. And there's someone in an Osprey Navy issue. Let's try to switch to him. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, he's almost down. So if we could put the hammer down on him now, as he tried to still target me. Not sure where he is. There he is, with big ships in the background. This is actually pretty damn cool. If I had a little bit more speed, then I think it would look absolutely amazing. Come on, break this guy. There we go. Osprey down. Let's watch that explosion. There it is. And then I want to switch right back to the damnation, firing off the missiles. And this does, to me now, this does have a very cinematic view here in first person. It's actually pretty damn cool. Unfortunately, I'm running out of missiles again. So let's switch it up to tactical mode. This is, of course, for like the fleet commanders, pretty important. There's a view of the whole battle. But the stability here, honestly, I'm really impressed. So here's a Gila. I'm going to start to approach him as we slowly do keep working on that damnation. But his tank is just crazy strong at the moment, and I guess he just blew up or something. Can't see him anymore. Then there's an Occutor that's probably getting out. Anything else that we could go after the Marshal from the ISD? And what the hell is targeting me here? A Machariel. Alright, let's go towards that Machariel. So he's here. Let's give it an approach order. Well, we are doing what needs to be done on that damnation. So for now, we're gonna try and add a little bit of damage to that. And then if I click on this one and then press C, was that? No, it has to be on the overview, I guess then. And then press C. There we go. Now I can zoom in on him. So there he is, also target painted. I'm not the only one firing at him. Great tanking. Incredible tanking from that damnation, and very nice performance. I have to say, this is the best a MOS test has felt to me personally here in a very long time. Now, the fact that it's lower numbers definitely plays a role, but oops, and he warps out. There we go. And so that's what happens there on tactical. Let's quickly switch back to this view. As I'm being targeted, but nothing too special. Oh, that's an impressive looking kill up here. And then we actually get a Doomsday that's being fired as well. So that was the Machariel blowing up. Doomsday didn't quite get to witness that. And we now have some fighters on me, I think. These red guys. Take a quick look. Or no, it's just drones. Hop 2s. Okay, and we have a Varger approach. So ISD locality, let's switch out from that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so I'm now breaking in tank, which is fine. Honestly, I got a lot out of this already. And so now this is gonna be the first person view as we keep bouncing on the Varger. And then we get the battle in the background here as well. And so, yeah, that doesn't look that good. So when you're on an approach, it's very cool. After that, so now we're pulling away from this. I am losing my shields, but that is fine. And then the Varker is actually getting reps. That Fax could be in the mix here, doing very impressive work. And the detail here, look at that, I can see these hobgoblins. 4K is playing a big part here as well in how much information and detail I'm actually seeing in this fight. It's very cool. Sorry, the recording is gonna be at 1080p. It's 25 minutes so far, so probably half an hour. If it stays this short on the next one, Mass Test, I'll try to do a 4K recording, but I don't want to completely overdo it in file sizes either, as my shields go down and we get another big doomsday in the background. And then I'm actually gonna start approaching the gate. It's at 40 kilometers. Of course, once my shield tank breaks, we are down. Not much that I can do there. Good job, guys, in Fleet W. Honestly, that's actually not so bad. This looks like this fleet fight was decently even overall. And a little bit of crackling here at the end. That's definitely the case. Lovely explosion in the back. And let's see if I can slow boat my way to the Stargate to end, or if we will be sent home in Pod Express. And that was it. Probably already like 10 minutes ago, CCP Habakkuk announced the end of the Mass Test. There goes the Titan. Very cool, very nice Mass Test. And honestly, this feels like a pretty successful client version to me so far. I have almost never felt such confidence in just the graphics that are being displayed, the speed and the responsiveness of the camera, and the camera changes in all of this. So very, very, very cool. I'm impressed. Call me impressed. This to me feels like a super successful Mass Test. That's gonna be it for this one, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, I'll see you next time.